This video is about fasting, and specifically this is about my experience with a 10-day fast that included a 3-day hike with a backpack in the wilderness. I've had some experience with hiking, of course, but also with fasting in the past. I've done a 3, 5 and a 7-day fast, and now my latest one lasted 10 days. Because the previous ones have been going well, I felt confident enough after I did some studying on my own and so on that I probably will be fine doing some walking in the forest with a backpack, and eventually everything went well. But I do not recommend this for anyone. If you think about doing fasting, do your research, consult a doctor and so on. Don't take my word for anything. I do not know anything about these things, I guess. And might be that I just got lucky and survived this whole ordeal relatively healthy. But I wanted to see how I feel when I do a hike and walk with a backpack in a wilderness in the Finnish summer. This was a 3-day hike with we camped for 4 nights with my friend. We did this in northern Lapland here in Finland, and the temperatures during the day was about 25 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, which was very warm for this climate or this altitudes, and that gave me a little bit of problems. But I also felt that made my how I feel a little bit easier, because my experiences in the past with fasting that I have done usually in the springtime, winter or autumn time is that I got very, very cold. But this time I never had that problem. Before I started the hike, like I mentioned, I was like 6-7 days fasting, and it was relatively hot here in Helsinki, and for everybody else it seemed to be a little bit too hot. But for me, I felt quite comfortable. Even the feeling of hunger went away relatively fast. It only lasted about a couple of days. On the 3rd day I couldn't feel really much hunger. I felt a little bit weak. Standing up gave me a little bit dizzy head and so on, but other than that I was feeling good. I kept drinking these rehydration drinks, which included vitamin B, vitamin C, potassium and some other stuff that are probably very important. I also took these drinks with my hike. So whenever I started feeling weak, I mixed up a little drink for myself and drank that and waited until I feel better. The toughest parts of the hike were when we were going up the hill. I was going with a friend of mine, one of my oldest friends. He knew beforehand, or I actually told him in the car when we were going for the hike, that I haven't been eating for a week and I'm gonna do this while fasting. But all the time I was carrying a lot of water. I was carrying my food with me, my camping stove, also some energy bars, and of course the energy drinks and everything that I felt like I might need in case I start to feel too weak or something bad happens. But luckily I never had to go into those my storage to feed myself. At the beginning of my fast, I weighed about 81.5 kilos, about 180 pounds. And then at my lowest after the hike, in the morning I checked my weight, and it was about 72.6 kilos, which is 160 pounds. And after that it has stabilized roughly around 170 pounds, like 70, 74, whatever that is. And I've been really pleased with that. I feel like I've gotten my strength back, and I felt that this stopping the fasting eventually went pretty okay, even though I had some problems with eating. I was eating a little bit too much. And if you don't know anything about fasting, the most important thing I need to tell you right now, that the fasting itself is usually quite easy. Once the feeling of hunger goes away, it's usually kind of very easy to just do your daily jobs, unless it requires something very physical. But the really tough part of fasting, and this is what a lot of people apparently do wrong eventually, is that when they stop the fast and start eating, it's very easy to overeat. And this has happened to me before. I haven't been aware how much I'm actually eating. So this time I tried my best, but still once in a while I realized like, well, I've been eating a little bit too much, or I've been eating a lot of sugar. This happened actually with some juice concentrate that I had, like a small glass of a couple of times, and later on I realized like, wow, I've been basically eating or drinking just sugar. But at that stage, when my body was really wanted to get some calories in, I guess it didn't make a note of it to my mind, like maybe we shouldn't be drinking something so sweet. So that tasted good, and well, nothing I could do about it anymore. What I have personally learned from this experience is that it's amazing what the human body can do. I wanted to try this, of course, when I was planning it, and really give it my best shot. But at the same time, I was a little bit skeptical, like what's really going to happen when you start going up and down hills without eating. And I have to say, I'm very surprised. Every day after the hike, when we started setting up our camp, my friend started cooking his dinner and so on. I felt like, wow, this is really strange and amazing that I can feel like this. I was even able to think about food. I enjoy cooking a lot, so I was making some plans what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to cook when I'm out of this mess, and that still didn't make me have this like huge hunger feelings at that moment. In the future, I'm also going to do these long fasts, which are for me over 3 days long, and I'm definitely going to do them in the summertime or when it's warm, because my body gets really cold during fasting if it's not very warm outside. So that's one thing that I learned, and in the future I'll be doing this in the summertime for sure. If you find this video interesting, maybe you will leave me a comment and I'll definitely read and reply to that. Thank you for watching.